Falmouth Amateur Radio Club Field Day. We've got several stations set up here. The one right behind me that you see is for single sideband voice. We have one to my right over here that is the GOTA station, which is called Get on the Air for people new at amateur radio. One over here is the VHF, very high frequency. We do a lot of 2-meter and 6-meter contacts on that. And behind you off to the left over there is the CW or Morse code station. And we have several antenna towers, about 4 of them total, with antennas for each one.
What is it that they are doing for example, on the sideband station? What are they doing?
They're making contacts with as many other field day stations, not only in the country, but in the world. Trying to make as many contacts as they can. That's what all the stations here are trying to do.
Kilowatt. 3 kilowatt radio, kilowatt sync. A little bit of static on you. You're 2 Echo Lima Alpha.
We are 2 Echo Eastern Mass. That's Echo Mike Alpha.
Thank you. Whiskey 5 Whiskey Zulu Field Day.
The more stations you contact, the more points. Morse code gets double credit because it's Morse code. But the higher your point score, the better you stand with everybody else.
What's going on at the CW station?
Right, the CW operator here is using a lot of technology here rather than just using a straight key and listening to it straight. The keyboard, you can type in canned responses. You can send out a CQ call, which is calling anybody. This is K1RK, and when he can send back responses and all sorts of stuff. He does have some bedger paddles over there to send something, usually the other stations call. But it's very automated, it's very fast, and it makes life real easy to do this.
And are you submitting scores to?
It gets right into the computer. As it makes all these entries, it gets put right into the log.
And then will you submit the scores to the ARRL?
Correct. Yeah, all the scores will be taken out of all the computers. They'll be combined together. The computer just sorts everything out, and then we just send a report by email to the ARRL.
Now the sideband operator seemed fairly casual about it. He seems to be very concentrated.
Yeah. Well, CW, it does that. And there's a lot of interference around here too. People talking like me, as an example. And he has to concentrate a little more on the CW.
But is he more into this than, when I say, is he more into it for points than some of the other operators more casual?
Well, it's easier, shall we say, at the voice. I've been over there doing the voice. It is a little bit easier. You still have to concentrate. You've got to get your call signs down and stuff like that. But when you listen to the CW, you have to concentrate more.
And what kind of antennas are you using?
Mainly beam antennas. For the lower frequencies, we have what are called dipole antennas, long wire antennas. Behind us, we have several 50-foot tall military crank-up towers that do a very nice job. They're a very nice thing to set up temporarily and bring back down.
And what are you using? How are you powering all this?
Off to my left is a generator in the trailer over there. It's a 1.5 kW generator, 5 kilowatt generator supplying the whole thing. And it's run by propane. It's a generator that I put a propane kit on, which is far safer than dealing with gasoline in the middle of the night. Trying to refuel a hot generator in the dark is not a very recommended thing to do.
What is the purpose of Field Day?
It's to foster emergency communications. Here we set up, this was just an empty field when we first started. And if something happens, a hurricane, tornado, whatever, comes along and all the power and everything gets knocked out, we can set up our equipment and be able to communicate with people outside the disaster area to get them pass information back and forth.
And what is your call?
My call is KC1KM, otherwise known as the Killer Mouse. This is a 24-hour exercise. It started at 2 o'clock this afternoon and ended at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
How do they eat?
Oh, behind us over there, there's enough over there, off to the side there. We got all the comforts of home here.
And when did you arrive here?
I got here about 9 o'clock this morning. I brought my truck and trailer over here and set the generators up and then helped crank up the towers.
And how long will you be here?
I'll probably leave tonight after the cookout and come back tomorrow morning. I cooked a Sunday morning breakfast. You're invited if you'd like. And now I'll stay here until past 2 o'clock. I usually help with takedown a little bit as well.
And who owns these antennas?
These belong to the Falmouth Amateur Radio Club. This is all their property. All
And
the antennas.
and do you have to be a member to be in field day?
Not necessarily. You can come in here as a guest.
And is the general public invited to observe?
Absolutely. The public should see stuff like this. It's a lot of fun, but it also serves a purpose in an emergency.